So there was also war and no betrayal or anything. Just basically war in the game that I played, which was Cry Havoc. And of course, we talked about that in one of our Gen Con episodes. It was one of the most anticipated games at the show.
Yeah, and this is actually one of the reasons why we split, because I was like, you know what, we should get a game of that in. Jonathan, you take 2, I'll take the other 2.
And our friend Garrett was there, who I knew would like this game. It's
his style I already know this. Right?
And I have to say, I think it's well deserving of its hype and its status. It was really fun, a lot of fun, although I did pretty badly, and there were a couple rules that we got wrong, including one that made Garrett a little overpowered. But he was machines, I was humans, and our friend Neil was the Pilgrims, which are the alien race. And then there was also a 4th faction, which are the Trogs. And
Does this only go up to 3?
It goes up to 4.
Okay.
If you're playing with 4 people, someone else controls the Trogs.
Okay.
Otherwise, they're controlled by, when you're fighting them, the player to your left is the Trogs. So in that way, with 3 players, you're involved with almost every battle. Okay. So there's a lot. You're almost always interacting.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's interesting. It's a very interesting thing because also when you're playing as the Trogs, you can play cards. You know, it's just a lot like a lot of games where you get to play cards to affect your turn before and after. There's one I'm thinking of specifically. I guess Versus is what I'm thinking of, where you go back and forth. Like I'm going to play a card.
A lot of card
you're
games
play a card.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly because they don't want. Sometimes you'll play some games and just be like, one guy be like, okay, I play this,
right.
this.
But what's interesting about it is you use your same hand whether you're playing as yourself or as the Trogs. So you will have to decide, is it more important this round for me to expand myself or to try and stop them from what they're fighting the Trogs in that area? And there was a lot of stuff that we didn't even, I feel like we just scratched the surface of the possible strategies in terms of how to maneuver on the board.
I really do. One of my favorite things when you get, I'm assuming that the groups are asymmetrical.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. When you play a game like that, like the big one that I love, or my favorite one is Cthulhu Wars, is when you play and you're like, okay, I've played this, but I want to play this group again because,
Yeah, definitely. And actually, Cthulhu Wars is a great one because it actually reminded me of that a good amount. One of the things is you can actually take other people's prisoners and you get a point.
Right, I remember that because you actually, like when you fight, is like either you take territory, kill their units, or gain prisoners back, or take one of the other.
Yeah, and those, that's a separate step, but yes, right. Essentially. But that battle step, because there's those 3 different tiers of options, it really is a puzzle every time you're in a battle of how to spend your resources. It's unlike any other battle type game.
Here's the one thing I am curious, because I brought up, and then you even said it reminded you a lot of Cthulhu Wars. Mm-hmm. You know how playing each group really has a strategy in Cthulhu Wars. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Did you get that same feeling? Like, was the machines the antagonists? Like, they're going to go in the battle a lot or something weird like that?
I definitely think so. Basically, you each have your own custom deck, and you each have your own different structures that you can build. That's what separates you. Then there's also actually a deck building component where you can get cards from other decks and shuffle them in. But yeah, the machines, for instance, have a lot of build icons on their cards, so it's much easier for them to start building their stuff and getting it out there, and they can move
so they're
going
to swarm a lot more and stuff.
Yeah, kind of. And again, it's hard for me to say exactly because I haven't tried them all. Humans have a lot of movement points, so they're good at getting out into the world and making things happen. The Pilgrims, the aliens, were more about like drawing different cards and stuff like that. Yeah, so yeah, definitely interesting. I really want to try all the different perspectives. I also really want to try the Trogs because we haven't even tried that.
It was very fun. I'm going to say that, excluding one point when Matt was really bummed, he thought he got killed off, but we realized it's because of some cards we had to go backwards and he didn't.
Okay.
Like, your table sounded much more angrier and like bad. Like,
there was a lot of there was some bitterness about how well the machines were doing. We were pretty much getting crushed. Basically he had a machine structure that gave him extra cards. And to be fair, the rule book wasn't super clear about this. We had to look it up.
This also was the game night of
misplayed rules. Yeah.
Or not even misplayed, just like, we really need to look at this rule book. Something's not right.
He was supposed to, after he played one of those extra cards, get rid of them. He was putting them into his deck instead, essentially making his deck much stronger than it should have been. So that was part of it. But yeah, he was really steamrolling us. But it was still super fun, nonetheless.
Yeah. No, but definitely excited to try it out with you sometime.
Yeah, I really want to. So that one's really good.